last 4 minutes were not good, especially execution on the offensive end. We got stuck on one side of the floor. We had a couple people in the wrong places, but survived. And we did a lot of good things. I think that the free throw difference was interesting. That's all I can say. When you have a great player like Elena in the lane and being bumped, I would just hope that some of that would even out. Hopefully over the course of the series it will. Questions?
Coach, it was 3:16 left in the second quarter. You made that timeout. The Aces were up 41-48. What did you say to your team?
I don't remember. I can't remember back that far. I'm still like thinking about the last quarter. Part of it was a defensive thing, and then we ran, a couple sets where we got some good looks, but it was most every time out was about defensive things. One of the things in this series that's going to be interesting is that because the matchups aren't the same at both ends of the floor, so we're guarding, one player on the other end, but they're not being guarded by the same player at the other end. That transition for both teams defensively is a scramble situation. And I thought they did a better job of that in the second quarter, to your point. We did a better job those last couple of minutes of doing that, but then the last minute and a half of the second quarter, they got scores and we didn't. Anytime we scored 50 at a half, I feel good about it, but they were shooting 62%. I think they shot, low 40s or 39 for the second half. That's more like the defense that we're going to need. But that was probably one of our worst defensive halves of the whole year.
Coach, the bigs did a great job in the second half
Yes.
of kind of containing Liz and Asia. What was the difference between their play in the first half and the second half? I know you made some adjustments, but was it just more energy?
I don't know that it's energy. I thought we did a better job of kind of getting them off their spot on the floor a little bit. We helped a little bit better against them. We didn't give them, too many second shots. We made the passing angles a little bit tougher. We didn't really allow double team them tonight. We mixed in a couple in there, but I just thought, and part of it too is that, we're used to playing at that pace for an entire game. Some teams wear down a little bit as the game goes on. They start fresh and then, they wear down. But, for us to give up 95 points, in general, that's not a good sign for us.
Coach, when did you know that Christy would be good to go tonight, and how do you think she did in the first game back?
I was pretty sure yesterday, after shoot-around today, she felt like she was good enough to go. I knew that, there would be a little bit of rust. She struggled in the first half and basically try to, keep her spirits up and just say, hey, look, we need you. The ball's going to go in. I told her this morning, you're going to miss some shots, that's going to happen. Even if you were at your top, you're going to miss something. And so I thought her energy and her aggressiveness was better in the second half. She had kind of got that second wind. But the first half was a little bit just to kind of get her going again. And when you haven't played in 5 or 6 weeks, it's going to take a little bit of time, but we're going to need her to win this series and to win beyond that if we do. And you have to start somewhere, so might as well start in game one if you can.
Coach, man, to
Oh, there you go.
Sir. Appreciate it. Could you talk about what Emma Meesman did starting against the Aces and getting a double-double from that?
Well, it's why Emma is who she is. She's been preached at all year by her teammates and coaches that, she's the missing piece from a year ago. Her aggressiveness and her ability to shoot the ball and rebound the ball was going to be the difference for us. Her comment to me, last year was, well, you guys don't need me. You got to the finals. And I said, we didn't win. We need you. We need everybody. And, she's just such a fundamentally sound player. And I thought, one of the biggest signs of her aggressiveness was that three-point shot from the corner across from their bench in the second half, because I don't know if 2 years ago she would have taken that shot. And that was a huge shot for us, and that kind of broke the game open a little bit momentum-wise.
Coach, I know last week you talked about how the team's defense is underrated and maybe not
Not tonight.
Yeah, I guess overall, what did you see? Why wasn't like you said, it was one of the team's not the best performance from the defense. What did you see tonight from defense?
I just thought, the biggest thing we talked about earlier is that transition defense, because of being cross-matched, they were outletting the ball 15 feet up the floor and kind of on top of us before we got organized defensively. And some of that comes from missing shots and they're going at us, but they did it sometimes after our makes. And that's one thing that, I told them just now in the locker room, some things are hard to fix. That's an easy fix one if you want to work a little harder, which we did in the second half. They didn't get those same runouts. We made them play in the half court more. And in the first half, I don't know what total fast break points they gave in the first half. They gave 7 in the first half, and we had 0 runouts for the whole game. That's got to change a little bit. So I think that's the first thing. I think the second thing is the free throw difference. I mean, if they're going to shoot 22 free throws, we're going to shoot 10. We're going to be in this kind of a battle every night. That's got to change a little bit, both ends. We've got to maybe be a little bit more aggressive. We've got to, get some of the same calls. But, we can't put them on the line 22 times either. Yep.
Aside from whatever rust she may or may not have had, how important was it to have Christy out there as kind of that on-court coach for the team?
Well, I didn't think it was coaching so much. For her tonight. Some nights that her role. Right now, she's just trying to get herself going. I think the biggest thing is she gives our team confidence just by being out there, knowing that you have another person that is not afraid of taking and making a big shot. And she made a couple of them right when we need them. She starts out 0 for 4, and then she goes 3 for 4 in the second half. That's a big turnaround, and that gives everybody else on the floor confidence. And we made our run with her on the floor to open the gap.
Last question.
Go ahead, I can hear you.
Did you sense any fatigue? They think your team was fatigued tonight?
Not any more than you would normally have in a game. I think that sometimes the adrenaline gives you a little bit of quick tiredness in the start of each half, but that went away. I thought we played through most of that. I didn't see it at all from, Elena and Emma and Toya, our guards. Every game, Ariel Atkins has a 1 minute where she looks like she's exhausted. You give her a break, and then she comes back and she's fine. So, but she struggled shooting the ball tonight, and luckily Christy picked up the slack for that.
All right, thanks,
Okay,
guys.
thank you.